Live from the local station, the 10 o'clock news starts now.
Close call today for legendary stunt pilot and flight instructor Patty Wagstaff. Her plane overturned during a landing at Northeast Florida Regional Airport in St. Johns County.
This is video now of the wreckage on the runway. Wagstaff escaped the crash with minor injuries, and her passenger was not injured. Wagstaff is well known in the aviation community and has become a role model for many female pilots.
Yeah, just a few hours ago, she put this message out on Twitter. Says, "We had a mechanical problem on our V-tail Bonanza after landing in St. Augustine this evening. People have been asking, and I wanted to let everyone know that my passenger, one of our instructors, is doing fine."
News4JAX reporter Eric Avignier flew with Wagstaff several years ago while covering the Wings Over North Georgia Airshow. And Eric is joining us live from Northeast Regional Airport in St. Augustine with more on today's crash. Eric.
Yes, when I found out it was Patty who crashed, my first reaction was, is she okay? Is she going to be fine? You know, back in 2016, the fall of 2016, I had the opportunity to get to know her as both a person and a pilot when I flew with her during the Wings Over North Georgia Airshow. She is a stunt pilot with worldwide recognition. According to Florida Highway Patrol, around 5:32 p.m., this single-engine 1958 Beech K35 airplane had just landed at Northeast Regional Airport in St. Johns County and began to taxi down the runway when it went into the grass median and overturned. The pilot was 68-year-old Patty Wagstaff. Investigators say she suffered minor injuries that didn't require a trip to the hospital. Her 59-year-old passenger was not injured. What caused the plane to go into the median and flip has yet to be determined. Wagstaff is no ordinary pilot. She's a local flight instructor, and she's a three-time U.S. National Aerobatic champion. She has won gold, silver, and bronze medals in international aerobatic competitions. Wagstaff, who is a member of the National Aviation Hall of Fame, has also flown in air shows all over the world. Back in 2016, I had the pleasure of flying with her during the Wings Over North Georgia Air Show. That's me in the front seat and Patty in the back. After we flew, I spoke with her about her passion of flying from the time she was a little girl.
It was just natural. Aviation was always a comfortable place to be, and I still love it.
We also talked about how she uses her celebrity status to inspire younger generation of future pilots.
Anybody that's been in the airshow business for more than just a few years gets letters and emails from people who said, I saw you fly at an airshow and now I'm in the military and I'm learning to fly, or I'm an airline pilot.
Again, what caused her plane to veer into the grass median and flip is still under investigation. Reporting live, Eric Avignier, Channel 4, the local station.
Eric, it's so good to hear that she's okay and the passenger as well. Tell us, though, what was it like to fly with her? I can imagine it must have been incredible.
Yes, it was actually one of the best news assignments of my career. I could say it was one of the best experiences of my life. You know, I felt safe with her in the air, and what was really impressive about her was when we landed, I was so impressed by the number of people that wanted to be near her. They wanted to take pictures with her, wanted her autograph. That is just how that's how much star power she has when she shows up at these air shows.
Absolutely. All right. Eric Avignier reporting to us live. Thank you, Eric. And Wagstaff is a six-time member of the U.S. Aerobatic team. In fact, she's won the gold, silver, and bronze medals in the Olympic-level international competition. And that's not all. To learn more about this world-renowned pilot, just look for this story on the homepage of news4jax.com.
Now coming right around, finishing 360. She will do the underwind. She will push up until the hammerhead. When I say push up, this means she's experiencing about 5 to 6 negative G. That means that's finds her body weight trying to pull right out of the pocket. Be a good thing. Extra special. Now coming down the backside. She'll do what is known in the trade as the avalanche. You'll see why it's named that in just a few moments. She pulls it out. Now, watch this as the airplane breaks loose. There, inside snapper. 1, 2, 3. Here
comes Patty Wagstaff.
I started flying in about 1979. I got my license in 1980, and I became a flight instructor, but I knew that I didn't want to fly straight and level.
Just rolling around the axis of that airplane.
I've been around aviation all my life. My father's an airline pilot, my sister's an airline pilot, I have an uncle that's a pilot, so it's kind of a family thing.
Sliding backwards, down through her smoke. Can't see the ground, can't see you. The airplane just tumbling out of control.
So I always knew that someday I wanted to fly, but when I was a little girl, flying wasn't really open to women as a career.
She hauls the airplane up in the air, rolls around and just tumbles the airplane end for end.
I knew when I first started doing aerobatics that I wanted to be a full-time professional airshow pilot.
The only woman ever to win the U.S. National Aerobatic Championship 3 times.
Nobody expected a woman to win, and so I had to educate them that I could do it.
Throws it into that Lomshevak maneuver. Look at the end swapping on that airplane. Holy mackerel, how do you do that?
I think I was very lucky because I had something to shoot for, to be the first woman to win the U.S. National Aerobatic Championship. You know, I wasn't just out there trying to do what somebody else had already done. I knew that there was something like that available, something first.
Snap roll, snap roll, snap roll. Hangs it right on the prop coming out. Still flying. Turns around and dives back towards show center.
This is an Extra 300S. It's built in Germany by Walter Extra, who's also an aerobatic pilot. It's a production airplane. It's actually a certified airplane, certified to plus and minus 10 Gs.
Back comes the stick once again, and up in the air goes Patty at the BF Goodrich Aerospace. Extra 300 on the top. She rolls the airplane into yet another circling turn. Believe me, folks, you have no idea how difficult it is to keep the nose of that airplane pointed straight. She's working the stick back and forward, all the while holding that roll rate into the airplane, trying to keep the nose level. And I'll tell you what, if again the smoke had held, you would be looking at a perfect circle in the sky, rolling inside to that circle. Something like about 20 turns all the way around that.
Several features really unique to aerobatic planes. For one thing, it's very small, but it's very open. I have Lexan panels so you can see the box markers in the competition and in the runway when you're doing air shows, and it makes it feel a little bigger in here. Most aerobatic planes have sticks instead of yokes or wheels like you might find on a traditional airplane. You can see all the controls, you can see the rudder cables, and you can really have a good look at everything so you can check it very carefully.
Over sideways, on the wingtip, tail first, nose first, side first. Where is it? Somewhere down there. Oh, there.
My seat belts are interesting. It's a 5-point hooker harness system, and it has a ratchet on it so that I can winch myself in. Because we're trying to be thrown out of the cockpit and you really don't want to move around, you want to feel like you're one with the airplane, we ratchet ourselves in. Psyching yourself up for a show is a little bit like competition in that it really helps me to get away by myself and go through my routine in my head, and I walk through it on the ground too. And you see a lot of the pilots walking through with their hands and turning circles on the ground. We're really flying our routine before we actually go up and really fly, because once you get up there and you're tumbling around and you're trying to figure out what your temps and your pressures are in your engine and where the wind's coming from and where the crowd is, because you can't fly over the crowd, you know, you really need to have rehearsed and visualized the routine beforehand. intensely physical. It's all intensely physical what I do, and it really makes me exhausted after a flight. We can only fly for 15, 20 minutes at a time. That's all the fuel I have too, but that's about it physically that you can really take. You're pulling 10 G's positive and about 7 or 8 G's negative. So you're in between being, forced in the plane and thrown out of the plane. You have to keep your mind on what's going on inside. You have to think of the engine temperatures and pressures, where the wind is, where the crowd is. You don't want to get too close to the crowd. There's very strict rules and regs about how, close you can get just for spectator safety. And so you have a lot to think about. Air shows and competition are quite different. Competition is sort of the Olympics of aerobatics and what I've done. And the air shows are like the ice volleys compared to the Olympics. So it's pure entertainment. It's a really different deal. Competition is very, very self-centered. You really try and be away from people as much as possible to concentrate on your routine and flying for the judges. Air shows are just the opposite. What you're doing, you're sharing with the spectators, with the crowd, with the kids, with the older people that were in the war. And so it's a really rewarding feeling to be able to share what I do with people.
And she's waving to you. Wave to her as she goes by in the knife edge photo pass. Ladies and gentlemen, without a doubt, one of the top performers on the air show circuit, the incomparable Patty Wagstaff. Let's hear it.
A lot of parents that bring their kids up, especially their little girls, up to meet me to say, hey, you don't have to be something traditional if you don't want to be. There are other options open to you. Look what she's doing. So yeah, I've become kind of a role model, and I think, again, I'm really lucky to have that to sort of aspire to, because it's a big responsibility for me to live up to that.